What's going on, everybody? It's Jeff here. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about Churchill Capital and Lucid Motors. Is a merger happening? What's going on? The stock popped 25% on Friday after already going up 80% since January 8th when news first emerged that Churchill Capital might be acquiring Lucid Motors and taking them public via SPAC. So, after it already went up 80%, I kind of did some digging and saw 25% on Friday. There's got to be some news that people behind the scenes know about that us don't know about yet. All right, so we're going to dive into that today. I came across a couple articles that really hint at potentially where this stock is going and if the merger is going to be happening. So stick around, you're not going to want to miss this. Guys, for those of you that are new to the channel, please hit that like button and consider subscribing, join part of the family. Leave a comment down below. Let me know how I did. I'm new to YouTube, so I appreciate it, guys. But let's get into it, okay? First off, like I said, the stock shot up 25%, all right, on one day alone. We heard the news on the 8th, like I talked about. It popped up, it consolidated over a few days because nothing really happened. This was not set in stone, but then it popped on Friday. So I said to myself, I got to do some digging a little bit, all right? So here's what we kind of found. I'm going to scroll up, sorry. Lucid Motors SPAC merger rumors send Churchill Capital climbing again. But let's kind of dig into it a little bit, all right? If you see here, investors are really not giving up with the blank check company, CCIV. There's still no confirmation of a Lucid Motors SPAC merger. But that's not stopping the CCIV stock bulls. So I always say to myself, what do these investors know that have much better contacts and more information that we don't know? So everything I read keeps on going. A blank check company led by Michael Klein we've heard about, and investors immediately celebrated buying into the CCV stock. Klein refused to comment. I see that on every single article, and I'm going to show you even more and more. And we've heard nothing from the Lucid Motors executives. Everything's being kept in, okay? But a couple things that I do want to point out, all right? The best news for bulls here would be a true confirmation of the deal and the requisite of the US SEC filings that would follow. However, speculation of a new article from the Los Angeles Times has CCIV stock on the move, okay? It goes into, read this article, it's from Investor Place. It goes into a little bit deeper of just about CCIV and a little bit more about the stock. But let's get into not that article, but that article that was rewritten by Yahoo. Lucid Motors prepares to go public thanks to Saudi money and a SPAC mania. And let's really get into this, guys, okay? It says right here, in a deal that is near completion, according to a source familiar with the negotiations, the company would draw a hefty but as yet undetermined amount of cash to fund its operations. If the deal goes off without a hitch, Lucid executives and board members, including Chairman Andrew Liveris, a former Dow Chemical chief executive with deep financial ties to Saudi Arabia, will get a shot at a big payday. Let's look into it even further. Obviously, we know the reason. SPACs offer a quick, easier, and more secretive way to take a private company public versus the initial IPO. Guys, read this article. It's on Yahoo. It came out originally on Los Angeles Times. It was rewritten. Displays a little bit about it, a little bit about the EV market, competing with Tesla, and so forth. Lucid Motors has always been clear about its intent to go public at some point in order to accelerate the adoption and global availability of Lucid's exclusive electric vehicle and sustainable technologies. We already know that, but here's what's going to tie, as I get into this article more, guys, this is the news that is going to tie CCIV and Lucid closer together, okay? Andrew Liveris, which let's look back up here, right here, including Chairman Andrew Liveris, all right? Let's scroll back down right here. Liveris, for example, not only serves as Lucid's chairman, but also as an operating partner at Churchill Capital, the SPAC that's planning to buy Lucid. That makes Liveris a player on both sides of the deal. Kirsch said it's highly unusual to have officers from the acquired company hold an operating role in the SPAC, which means they are going to do everything in their power to make sure this deal goes through. Liveris' tenure at Lucid has been kept under wraps. He's concluded on the car maker's board of directors page, but the company never issued a news release or made any other announcement when he became chairman. Asked when Liveris joined Lucid, a spokesman for the carmaker said via email, "Unfortunately, I'm not able to share information at this time." Once again, keeping everything in-house, okay? It describes it a little bit more. Liveris' Saudi connections run deep, as do Michael Klein's. Klein is the CEO of Churchill SPAC. He's a longtime advisor to Liveris. When Liveris ran Dow, Klein led the creation of a joint venture between Dow and Saudi Aramco, the giant oil company, to build a mammoth $20 billion chemical plant in Saudi Arabia's Jubal Industry City. Even further, the Saudi Public Investment Fund helped finance the Sadara deal. That's the same fund that put $1.3 billion into Lucid. As you're starting to put these pieces together more and more and more, it just continues to make sense. It makes sense and gives me a little bit of confirmation that there's too much at stake for this deal not to go through. There's both vested parties on the same side. It's like you're playing for both baseball teams in the World Series. Meanwhile, Laveris now serves on the board of directors at Saudi Aramco, tying everything back together. Okay, this article goes on to explain a little bit more in the oil industry and so forth. I also want to point this out too, that this was posted, and I just grabbed a screenshot off Twitter. CCIV listed today in Berlin. This was 2 days ago. Things are moving on the 7th day of negotiations with Lucid. Okay, lastly, right here, guys, in the end, let me scroll up, sorry. In the end, don't buy CCIV stock now, but pounce on the Lucid Motors merger. I'm not going to tell you what to do, whether to buy CCIV. Personally, I like to play a little bit risky. I had a great 2020, so I'm already in it. But just more importantly, this talks about the value of the company as a whole, all right? Right here. But whenever Lucid Motors does come public via a merger with CCIV or any other SPAC, pounce on that stock right away. Lucid Motors is one of the highest quality plays on one of the biggest megatrends of our lifetimes. Guys, that is a huge, huge statement, okay? It's a potential 10x investment that you'll want to own for the long haul. Now, does that mean 10x from where it is now at 22? Could it go up to 220? Or does it mean 10x from where it was at $10? Doesn't matter. We're at 22. 10x from that is 100. That's a 5x return from an investment, potential investment on Monday, okay? Goes on to explain EVs of the future, but more importantly, Lucid Motors, the company is a luxury EV maker that has assembled a world-class team of executives and engineers that have spent the last few years designing a high-performance, super sleek electric vehicle dubbed the Lucid Air that, when it launches, will rival the Tesla Model 3S. Goes down a little bit further, explains it a little bit more. But it's not the look of the Lucid Air that excites me or will get tons of customers to buy it over the Model S. Rather, it's two big performance features: unrivaled driving range and the lightning fast recharge times. Guys, read this a little bit more. Explains, like I said, it's a little bit more about the company. It says, wait for confirmation right here. Lucid Motors does not equal CCIV stock. They kind of go here over to cover their butts, just saying, hey, listen, the merger might not happen. However, after kind of, being in the market a little bit and understanding how us as the general public, us as a private guy who's investing anywhere from a couple $100 to a couple $100,000. We are the last ones to know the information. We get the information to us much quicker nowadays because of Reddit and Twitter and the internet and so forth. But there's definitely some connection going on behind the scenes. I hope you find some value in this, guys. If you had questioned about the stock before, I hope this gives you a little bit of confirmation. Guys, please do your own due diligence. If there is a call that something happened out of the ordinary, which obviously I feel like it's like, doing business with family right here almost, which means the deal is most likely going to go through. However, when it doesn't, it blows up. You could lose a huge portion of your investment, guys. So do your due diligence, read into these articles, and I would expect this to potentially, if it does go through one way or another, the news is going to drop very soon. The 25th is the Monday the market opens. I expect no later within a week or two, we are going to hear confirmation or at least conviction of a 100% denial. One way or another, we're going to know what's happening, guys. So leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. Consider subscribing and joining the family. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one.